Are we on yet? Can you
Oh,
hear me?
I absolutely can, but I'm listening to our new song. Canadian Bro Show. Bring us together.
Hey,
Huh?
you
Come
gotta
on,
love
buddy. It's a little Britpop action, right?
it. Yeah.
It's a nice intro to the show because it's all the way it just talks about the Canadian Bro Show and
Yeah, man.
laughter, and it's positive. One more time.
Sure.
Just it's only 30 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. Feel the love, bro. Feel the love. The Canadian Bro Show together.
It didn't cost you anything, right?
Oh, my buddy Chris Wright did it. We played in the BBL together. He did it on some software.
You're able to pay with hugs. That's perfect. That's about what it's worth. Hugs.
Oh, that's just so funny, man. I love it. I love it.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, well, thank you everyone for joining. This is the Canadian Bro, the second iteration of the Canadian Bro Show, and that is all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. I'm Pauly, and the handsome gentleman to my left, and your right is the co-host of the most, Mr. Trent Rowley. Trent, how you doing, bro?
Doing great. Super warm.
Yeah, you've been working a lot? Alberta, there's a lot of business happening?
Yeah, it's super busy right now, so.
That's good, but you still have time to golf? You still have time to sit in the jacuzzi, barbecue?
A little bit of basketball.
A little bit of basketball, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's
up with kids the other day, so.
Cool. Yeah, Trent's heavily involved in basketball in his community in St. Paul's and has been doing it for decades, and everybody benefits from it, and we benefit from him being the co-host of the most. And thank you for joining us at the Canadian Bro Show. This is episode 29 of All Basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. And as it says on the ticker below, we are going to, as the NBA is just officially wrapped up, the NBA really never officially wraps up. The NBA goes 365 24/7 because that's why some of these teams are worth $10 billion. And they just signed an $88 billion TV deal. This has become a league of multi-billionaires and many of them. And it's increasing, but it's the fastest growing sport in the world. And I love it. I'm a hoop junkie. So is Trent. And today we want to talk about the NBA Summer League, the champions, of course, fascinating championship run for the teams that made it into the finals. We've got the winners and losers. We've got NBA trades that have been going on. We've got the Wnba All-Star Game. We've got NBA training camp that's coming up. All things from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley.
Did you bring champagne? Because I thought we should be popping a cork because the Charlotte Hornets won their first trophy of any kind of all time a couple days ago.
Oh man, I mean it is
popping caps and stuff like.
It is absolutely incredible. I was thinking about that. I was like, are you kidding me? I saw 3-0. I was surprised. And then it was 4, then it was 5, then it was 6, and then I was actually watching some of their games because the Summer League, and we wanted to open the show a little bit about the Summer League. It was fantastic this year. I really enjoy the Summer League because I'm a hoop junkie. I really need basketball, and I could have watched FIBA and the under 19s, the under 20s, and so on, and some of the prelim tournaments. But the Summer Leagues are awesome because you get to see, all-star standouts. You get to see also at the same time the WNBA All-Star Game, which I've never seen. I heard that it wasn't that good, and I may never ever see it, at least until Caitlin's playing, perhaps. But it's it's chaos everywhere else in the world, but in Canada it's hoops, and we are the Hoop Junkies. And I really wanted to start off with the, did you have a chance to watch any of the Summer League, Trent, or are you just too busy?
I watched a couple of the playoff games, a little bit of the final.
Yeah.
Saw highlights, kind of just keep track that way.
Right.
You are definitely the guy who wants to watch those games for fantasy picks and stuff like that down the road. Yeah. I proved last year in fantasy that I don't need to do all that to be, competing with all these guys who are great fantasy players. So I don't really take part in Summer League.
But you do compete anyways, and you're really good at what you do. So come on, give yourself some credit, bro.
No, so it's not something that interests me. I'd rather be out in the golf course. Playing golf than watching Summer League basketball.
If I didn't have supposedly a torn meniscus, I would love to do that as well. Trust me. Best time in Kelowna.
I did watch a lot. I did watch some of the games that mattered, and like I said, we should have been I should have had some glitter or something and been throwing it up in the air for the Charlotte Hornets, because the first ever trophy of any kind that they've ever won in the NBA. So kudos to them. So
and the young coaching staff and the new general manager and the poor fans. And I mean that the best possible way. They're excellent fans, and I watch a lot of Charlotte because of LaMelo Ball. And it would really nice to see LaMelo play more than 50 games, and show these young kids how to do it, how to play basketball properly, because he is one of my favorite and most exciting young basketball players in the NBA, and I love watching him play. He's a little reckless. He has a tendency to be a bit of a jacker from deep, and so it hurts his shooting percentages, and he turns the ball over quite a bit. But he's still a 3-to-1 turnover ratio. So you can't complain, right? And he's so fun watching him. But getting back to Summer League, let's talk about...
He's too busy worried about his next tattoo and what kind of stupid outfit he's going to wear. That's what he's worried about, that guy.
He's living the dream, Chad. He's living the dream.
Hey, man, he's definitely living the dream. Good on him. He worked for it.
He certainly did. And he's apparently stone cold sober and doesn't do drugs. And he's a real fun kid. And if he could just get his ankles in order, we'd all love to watch him a little bit more. But to start off the fantasy or the NBA Summer League trend, I wanted to talk about the drafts, the top 13, 14 draft picks, how they performed before going into the individual stats of players and the final outcome, and first team, second team All-Star, MVP of the league, MVP of the finals. Sounds good?
Let's go.
Cooper Flag, of course, would be my number one to bring it up. This is all from the NBA. I use the NBA. I have an NBA subscription. I've been an NBA subscriber for 25 years here in Vancouver. Cooper Flag averaged 21 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a little blurb about it. It didn't take long for the consensus number 1 pick in the June draft become a heavy favorite to snag NBA's 2026 Wilt Chamberlain Trophy as Kia Rookie of the Year. After the versatile 6'9" native of Maine put up solid numbers and a few thunderous dunks in Vegas, the odd makers installed him as the league's likeliest best newcomer. For all the things Flag does well and does it now, it's his sponginess, his desire, his passion to win, and he has his repertoire, work ethic, and the Mavericks and their fans should be very excited. And they pulled him after 2 games. His opening game was pretty soft. The second game he had 31 and he just lit it. 11 rebounds. And they pulled him, and like they should have. But I mean, you think he's going to be a significant influence on the Dallas Mavericks this year?
I would say because of especially once Kyrie comes back. I think
that won't be for 6-7 months though, bro.
He's between a role player and a really significant player. He's not.
Right.
He's on a team that has lots of veteran players. So it's not like
he's not Rookie of the Year candidate on this team, is what you're saying?
I mean, for sure he could be a Rookie of the Year candidate, but I wouldn't think that their coaching staff is like, Kid's not just going to abandon the fact that he has Anthony Davis and other players.
Yeah, a lot of other players, a lot of talent, and they got a deep bench. They got a deep bench.
They're veterans. They're not a young team. So
no, they got solid. It's solid deep.
I think he's going to. You know what? He's going to a perfect situation. For all the hype, there's so much going to be off his shoulders. He's not walking in,
blind.
Like some number 1 picks.
Yeah.
And having it, you have to be the star. You're supposed to be the best player. He's not walking into that situation. So it's a good situation for him. He's going to be a good player.
I agree, and I love the commentary, and that leads in really nice to the next pick, Dylan Harper, and I really love San Antonio. Yeah. I think they have the best young team in the NBA right now. I don't think there's a better younger team aside from the world champions, but I'm not talking, I'm not talking OKC. I'm saying that these guys are the best young team in the NBA right now, up and coming. And they could be competing with the championship in the next decade, because this pick here, their pick, Dylan Harper, played great. He averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, leadership. He's 6'6". He's every bit as good as his dad, perhaps potentially to be much better.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Well, who's the other guy? They had I hate saying it this way, but they had the one game I watched, the OT game, he hit a shot to tie it with them 3-4 seconds left.
That's Carter Bryant.
That kid had a great summer league.
He's my last pick on this list.
Oh yeah, he had a great summer league. That guy did out of nowhere for them.
Yeah, he's sweet. They drafted. I mean, really for what they needed, and then the trades they made to back up, Wnba is. Yeah. I'm excited for this. I'm watching a lot of Spurs this year.
I would love to see them trade De'Aaron Fox to Milwaukee with some picks to get Giannis. And you'd have Harper at point guard with Giannis at a forward and Wnba.
Not going to happen. They wouldn't trade Wnba for anyone.
No, not Wnba. They're keeping Wnba.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about that trade and others, but I want to talk about this next guy because
it's a weird fit there.
In one of our last shows, I brought this guy up early, and you kind of were surprised. You're like, well, I thought he was pretty good. The kid out of Baylor, VJ Edgecombe. And
I think he has really potential.
He was, and when we go through the stats, you'll see that there's about 25 players that are going to be in NBA teams this year and actually be a part of rotations. So many talented performances in the summer league this year. But
like I said, I was happy. I thought the Sixers did very well picking him and the older kid Brome from Auburn.
Very underrated pick. Honestly, it's a steal. I think it's going to be the steal of the draft.
It's two good picks, man. I thought the Sixers did really well. Now just trade Embiid for a boatload of stuff and move on.
I mean, and Edgecombe shown two different sides of his game. He had that explosive opening game in Philadelphia, but in Salt Lake City, averaged where he just went off. He averaged 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, steals, threes. Yeah. He was dynamic defensively. Yeah. He's a leader. He's dropping dimes. He looks so polished out of Baylor, eh? I love him. I love him. And I do agree with you on the other kid they picked up because that was a great pick as well. The next guy I got to talk about because I really didn't know, and we actually in one of our previous episodes, Trent and I brought up that we thought he was just going to be, I thought he was going to be maybe a little bit better than just another 6'7" shooter, cerebral, high IQ, little slow foot, not athletic type. There's a bunch of those guys in the NBA, right? And what he did in the summer league was remarkable. He showed poise way beyond his years. And I know he's 24. Well, he showed every bit of that leadership and he played the point forward and he's got a beautiful stroke and he never forced anything. He always looked like he was totally under control. And he was, by the way, a first team All-Star as well. And we can go through that later, but he was number 4 pick and he averaged 15, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, MVP. And MVP of the final game, the MVP of the championship game. And the league MVP was the big man from Utah, which is the first time a Utah player was ever the league MVP, and that was the big kid Filikowski. Filikowski was who I'm going to mention. The next kid, of course, is Ace Bailey. Ace has got a lot of talent. He's very athletic. I think 5th was a stretch, but I'm not a big fan, to be honest. But he's very athletic. I'll just leave it at that. Trey Johnson. Yeah, oh my God. And athletic. Yeah. Trey Johnson. Now, I did watch a lot. He averaged 20 a game. Just a scorer. He can shoot, and he's a scorer. Yeah. He's a bucket getter. But you cannot leave this guy open on a flip, on a skip, on an extra pass, even on the baseline at 22-9. This guy's, it's a layup. This guy's just bucket maker. I love him. And he's going to a team like Washington where he's going to take over from a couple of other guys they got in that role, but they're going to play him young, I think. The next kid, I think, is way over his head.
He'll go to a team where because of the new NBA, he's a great shooter. He'll go to a team that he stands in the corner when they run their offense. So.
Yeah, well, Washington might very well do that this year because their bigs in the second half of last season played a lot better. But next guy, I think New Orleans really pulled the trigger on him quite a bit early, and that's Jeremiah Fears. And I watched a lot of him in men's league, and you know what? He had 17.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 2.6 assists, but he also led the league in turnovers.
Right.
And at 25, and he had like almost 20 fouls. And he just couldn't finish in the inside on his inside explosive, but he's very fast, and I understand why they picked him, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
I am a fan, Trend, of Igor Demon, this 6'9" kid that they picked up, and I brought him up in one of our previous episodes, and he's shooting 44% from 3. and he's a slender 6'9", but he plays the point. He was the BYU's point guard at 6'9". And it's really interesting how Denver picked up 5 first-round picks, and 3 of them were identical, but all different chaps from different parts of the world. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big guy, big guard, another big person to handle the ball. I mean,
dude, and when he does this, he pass fakes and ball fakes and shoots fakes, and he doesn't keep his hands down. So now he's like 7 foot, passing and looking over everybody.
And he's going to go learn from like a basketball savant like Jokic. So
Absolutely. We all need to learn from that. Next guy is a guy we talked about. I brought him up in one of our earlier shows, maybe too early. And I surprised that the Toronto Raptors picked him up at number 9, and that's Colin Murray-Boyles. Your thoughts?
I wasn't a fan of the pick when they made it. So
6'7" guy, bro.
I like the other. I like the other kid they picked up, the 6'2" kid, Elijah Smith. What's his name? The 6'2".
The number 36 pick in the draft in the second round. Yeah. He won the national championship. Very explosive.
And like he reminds me of athletically like Derrick Rose. Like it's crazy how athletic he is.
That would be my guess. That would be the one that when I first saw him, and I looked on some old clips of him, and he can really go, eh?
Oh man, he is. He's just got to improve, be more consistent as a shooter. But I mean,
he's a scorer though, as well as a shooter.
That you're 6'2". When you're at that athletic, you can. There's lots of space in the floor the way the league is played now.
They say he's 220 at 6'2". So, I mean, that's muscular.
I wasn't a fan, as you know, when they picked the guy they picked. I was hoping that they would pick a kid from Duke. Yeah. But Clutch Sports intervened and made sure that Phoenix tried to get him because they represent him. There's a phone call and everything that's been uncovered that shows him talking to them. So helped influence that decision probably by the Raptors. So, no conflict of interest though. But,
of course not. Of course not. So, none whatsoever. And the number 10 pick is exactly where we're leading to based on this number 9 pick. And that is the big man from Sudan, South Sudan, Kaman Maluk, who averaged during the Summer League a very, considering he hardly played, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Yeah. They call him bad hands, apparently, which I don't think's fair. I think he has pretty soft hands, actually, but that was the harsh label that was immediately put out there. And
he's like a poor man's. He's a taller, younger version of Bo Outlaw.
Well, I think he's better. He's a 7'2"
for your boy Bismack Biombo.
Yeah, I mean, no, my God, he's much better than Bismack. Come on, man. Bismack's got bread loaf for hands. 8-day-old bread loaf. But this young 7'2" product, I like his character. I like his style. The way he cried was so real and pure. And he doesn't turn 19 till September. I'm telling you, the kid's going to be special. Get him in a weight program. Get him to lose that baby fat. And he is just a star in the making. I love him. Next guy, Cedric Coward. For the Memphis Grizzlies. It's ironic that a player who got folks excited about his wingspan, 7'2" for a 6'6" guy, missed playoffs the Summer League last year entirely because one of his wings was clipped on his shoulder, and it lingered. But he came out and played. Now that Baines is gone, and all of a sudden, if you look at his journey, ending up at Washington State before he got picked up, it's a fascinating story, right? Yeah. And your thoughts on him? I like him.
Guys like that are easy to root for, put it that way. There's lots of potential for him, and he's probably going to get a chance to play. So that's the big thing, right? Not all these rookies are going to get the minutes that they probably need to develop, or that we're going to hype them up. They're not going to get that many minutes. This guy definitely has a chance. The way he played in Summer League, I watched one of their games, and I mean, he definitely, the potential's there, and he's, like I said, he's going to get a chance. He's going to get a chance to play.
I hope so.
That's going to be a big deal there.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. Training camp's going to be really interesting because it's so short, eh? People don't realize that training camp's like literally a week. It might be more. Maybe they changed it. I don't know. And I just want to bring up a couple more. You mentioned Carter Bryant. He only played in the California Classic. There was 3 leagues, but the attention that was stolen away from him by a fellow I've definitely got to talk about. is because of a guy named David Jones Garcia that also is on the tip of everybody's tongues from the Spurs. Another 6'5" scoring machine. This guy, talk about a bucket getter. This guy, every single game, and I'll talk about him later in the statistics, he is the type of player that I can't stop. I watch all of him all the time, and he produces the same thing. He's vicious, he's concise, he's 45-degree angles, he moves well without the ball, he's really intelligent, he doesn't force the game, he can shoot, but he's a scorer and a slasher, and he can drop dimes. Watch out for this kid, man. San Antonio is going to be really, 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 really.
Definitely gonna try to watch as many Spurs games as possible. No question.
And then the last guy I want to mention before I get into the Summer League All-Stars is Derek Queen, who I thought the Raptors could have really picked up. I think
they could have picked him up too.
At 6'10", I think he would have been really ideal for them because he could do all his junk in there, right? He could have the whole key.
And he's got a mid-range jump shot, whereas the kid they picked from South Carolina can't shoot it worth nothing. Like he can't shoot the ball.
No, good point. So I just want to bring him up because I did watch him play. He averaged 14 points, 11 rebounds on the Pelicans, and he was dropping dimes, and he was pretty loose out there, and he had some junk. He did that same move that when they won that final last second shot where he did the one leg fade off the backboard again. That's his money go-to move, right? So I just wanted to bring those guys up. It took us about 18 minutes, but I think it's worthwhile because I watched all these guys, and they are all the real deal. And there's a few others that we could talk about too, but maybe in a later episode. But I do want to talk about the Summer League standing, the players. Do you want to do the standing, like the final standing first, and then the players, or do the players?
I wouldn't be too worried about the standings. I don't think anybody really gives a rip. But I would do you could do the first team and second team All-Stars if you want.
Yeah, let's do that first. So the Summer League first team, Neat Clifford, very unique, slender and long, 6'9" forward, playing with Sacramento and the Kings. And I watched him play, and this kid's for real. He's gonna get time in that position because the people that were at that position were not performing the way that this kid can. I think he should be a starter. That's my opinion. Kyle Filikowski. This is going to be really interesting with Utah because they had another 6'11" kid that was injured. I think he snapped his Achilles and he's coming back. They've got Lauri Markkanen at 7 foot. They got Kyle Filikowski, who was the leading scorer, and the league MVP was Kyle Filikowski. I mean, he played out of his mind. He averaged almost 30 points a game and 11 rebounds. What's that?
And they got Kessler still too.
I know, but they have more than that. They drafted another big as well, and they got the kid that's coming back from the injury last year. So now they got 6 bigs. So good luck with that. But it's Danny Ainge. I know he's gonna flip Kessler.
The Lakers are gonna give up the world to get one of those bigs.
They want Kessler. They think Kessler's the answer, but they've already got Ayton.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, anyways. So after Kyle Filikowski, the as I aforementioned, David Jones Garcia scoring machine. Watch out for this kid. He's out of Dominican Republic at 6'5", 220, scoring machine, ambidextrous. Watch him. My favorite underrated player in the second year in a row in the Summer League is a young 6'9", could be 6'10" now, by the name of Jordan Miller, playing for the Clips. And I talked about him last year, and I thought he was going to get more of a run last year, but Batum and a whole bunch of other guys, veterans, got, Tyronn Lue and Lawrence Frank were going, let's go veterans. And it almost worked. They played better than anybody expected. I think they're the team to watch this year. Watch. In the Western Coast, watch out for the Clips. And the Jordan Miller, the big question with him at 6'10", they've got to find a place for him because he's the center power forward stretch 4 that they wanted because he can shoot the 3, and I really like him. And then to follow out, I watched him play, and he reminds me of somebody he's like Lou Dort but bigger and stronger. Terrence Shannon Jr., 6'6" out of Minnesota, 6'6". This guy is unbelievable, and guess what's opened up for him in Minnesota? Interesting, eh? Great timing. Because Alexander Walker's gone, right? He signed with Detroit.
Yep.
That's 28 minutes right there. So watch out for him. He's like literally 230, maybe 235 at 6'6", and he can play the point. He's a combo guard, but he's like that big. When he gets going, when he's going downhill, guys just open up and they just step away. I'm not taking a charge on that, right? Second team, who I really like, scoring machine, another scoring machine. But Detroit's got him because Detroit's going to let go of their scoring machine this year because he's embroiled with some sort of a betting scandal. I'll just leave it at that. Ron Howard II played out of his mind, and he was a second-team all-star combo guard. And 6'6" and can score whether he comes off the bench or starts. He may be starting, but it depends on Ivy's injury, right? But watch out for him. Isaac Jones and
Cunningham, baby.
What's that?
Richie Cunningham, baby.
Absolutely. Isaac Jones, I saw him play a couple times. He had a couple of big games, a couple of games he disappeared. So, and I want to say Sacramento as well. And then Con Kneppel. I mean, you can't say enough about what he did. And where he's going. He is going to help the Charlotte Hornets like any other, probably more than any other player they could have drafted. They got the best one for them. He's going to help them character-wise. He's going to be a good leader for them. And I think he's going to work really well with LaMelo because they can both play the point and they're both 6'7". So that's dangerous. Yeah, they both can't stop anyone, but I don't think they're going to stop anyone anyway, right? So that's the first and second team and the important picks. And what else you want to know? I'll just tell you the top 5 teams from the Summer League standings. And I'll go with the 5th team first, San Antonio. So I'll just tell you, San Antonio was 4-1. So was Minnesota Timberwolves, 4-1. Oklahoma City Thunder, 4-1. Atlanta Hawks, 4-1. Well, the Summer League, they know that because they also do point differential. So a lot of really good teams never made it to the finals. However, the top teams that were undefeated until they met at the finals did. So I think it worked out in fairness. San Antonio was 4-1. Boston was 4-1. Toronto Raptors was 4-1. Sacramento was 5-1, who met in the finals to the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets won, as we mentioned. The MVP of the championship game was Duke standout and 5th overall pick, Kneppel. And apparently LaMelo's ankle is doing really well. And going into my standouts, the guys I feel need a mention, and I'm not going to go through everyone, Trent, trust me, because I know you've got lots of juicy stuff about the WNBA, and we're about that time. So this is the entire Summer League stats. So some players played 3 of the Summer Leagues, some players played 1, some played 2. But if you played all 3, your averages won't change if you play 1, right? If you scored 28 the first game, that's your average. But for the most part, they're going for the guys that played the most games. And the number 1 leading scorer of the Summer League at almost 30 points a game, 29.3 points, was the aforementioned Kyle Filipowski, the 6'11" kid for the Utah Jazz. Has a lot of upside, 11 rebounds. No hesitation dropping the ball, dropping dimes. Shoots a good percentage, can shoot the 3, can shoot a really high foul shot, and he's got great footwork and great hands. I mean, Utah's found a winner there. I have to talk about someone that no one talks about, like literally nobody talks about, Drew Timme. The legend, Drew Timme, the Timme Meister. Come on. He's the 2nd leading scorer of the Summer League this year. I'm telling you, get a haircut. I mean, he looks like he's 35 years old and he's a full-time postie from Newfoundland. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know, but he's out there just dropping dimes. He getting layup after layup, open threes. He's 6'11". He's slow of foot, yes. But with the Brooklyn, they scooped him, and he's going to be starting, and he'll average 20 points a game if he can stay healthy. I'm telling you, he's one of those guys that just has a nose for it. And he's always around the basket, and he's like always moves without the ball as a big man. So I like him. and no one else talks about him. Quentin Jackson, I'm not going to go there because I was surprised. I only saw him play one game. He had 24 points. I will talk about Reed Shepherd because I know how much you like Reed and what Houston has done this year. I'm a bigger fan of the Houston Rockets, I think, than you are, especially this year.
Yeah, they did really well.
Reed played 31 minutes a game, finally, which is what he really needed because that's the place they want to put him. At the same time, they just signed, Fred VanVleet. Hopefully he's going to play the next 2 years. He's got a 2-year, $50 million contract. The second year is a player option. It's like it's the best contract. Smart. Anyways, Reed Shepherd, 6'5", can shoot the lights out. He's a great point guard. I don't know if he can stop anyone, but honestly, you watch out Houston Rockets, one of the deepest team, one of the youngest. I think the second youngest team in the NBA, maybe third, and second youngest team in the Western Conference Finals. And I think they're going to be battling the Oklahoma City Thunder for many, many years to come. I really think they're the two future teams of the West. Myself, I think the Lakers could be once the LeBron era's moved on, but they've got to figure out what to do. But going on, Terrence Shannon Jr. just lit up the Summer League. 23 points a game, 10 rebounds. And he's playing point guard, combo guard, small forward, power forward, wherever he wants. Because he's just he's 230 at 6'6", right? There's just not a lot of guys built like that. You know what reminds me of? Charles Barkley, but taller and bigger. Your guy, because I know you're a fanboy, Matthias Buzelis from the Bulls.
Oh yeah.
He's grown 2 inches. He's now 6'9", and he's got a 41-inch vertical. I think in fantasy basketball this year, if he's available at a later round, what I think is a later round, I might make an effort because of getting rid of who they've gotten rid of. They've gotten rid of 3 guards, and I think he's going to be the starting small forward or 2 guard. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised he's 2 guard.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm a couple picks ahead of you, so I can snake a couple of guys from you again.
I hope I get to pick before you. Jordan Miller next. I love him. I talked about him before. Ron Howell, same thing. David Jones-Garcia, I've said enough. Watch out. He'll come off the bench. He'll probably be 6-man coming off the bench for those guys. And they're going to have a second unit, the Spurs. It's going to be one of the best second units in the NBA. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there. Javon Freeman Liberty, another gunner from the ABA days. Where'd they find this guy? Gets the ball, doesn't force anything, but he comes up with all kinds of wicked junk, man. Changing his hands midair, and I love him. I really like this kid, Walter Clayton Jr., the point guard. Watch out. He's going to be an all-star in the NBA someday soon, I think.
Yep.
And then Cooper Flagg, Cody Williams, the younger brother of Williams, the world champion Williams. Watch out. The Utah Jazz got another one. This kid had an amazing summer league. And that's all I'm going to mention. I could mention more, but let's find. What's that?
I'm sure you could.
I love hoops, boy, and I'm watching all this too, right? So I'm super stoked. I've been planning for this episode for 3 weeks, buddy.
Just so everybody knows, we're going to talk about something. We're going to move on now and talk about something interesting.
Hey, summer league's very interesting to me, and to the people that play fantasy basketball, and people that play fantasy basketball, because fantasy basketball is starting soon too.
Half the people that watch this show, half the people that Paul just mentioned, you'll never hear of in the NBA in your life, just so you know. So
I'll make a side bet with you, and you will lose that bet. And it's a round of golf in St. Paul's, or a round of golf in Kelowna when you eventually come. Doors open anytime. Yeah. You know where I live.
Yeah.
So, Trent, and now we want to talk about the fastest growing league in the world, and that is the WNBA. Yeah. And Trent, please tell the folks about the WNBA. How long's it been around? What do you know? Like, is it in a better place?
I don't know. It was like mid-90s, I think it was. Early to mid-90s when it came in. So, but it's never made any money.
It's always lost money until last year or this year, right?
No, last year they had a $200 million, like they made it $200 million, but with running costs and everything else, they were $40 million in the red stuff.
Of course they were.
But this year there's again, they're adding teams. They're I have the Toronto team next year. Portland's coming. Then you have Detroit and Cleveland.
Three new teams. Yeah.
3 other ones come. So, and Detroit's already had a team before. So
yeah, and that's come back. And then Toronto's already getting a team.
I don't like cities getting teams again. I think once you had a chance and you blew it, I mean, realistically.
Yeah. You know what? I know where you're coming from, but look at Portland. Look at the Portland Heat, or the Portland Fire. I mean, and sure. You see how inept that franchise was run before. They run themselves out of the league.
Yeah.
But now with the new logo and the new ownership, and I'm excited to have them back. So I know what you're saying. I agree with you, but I think there's room for expansion. I'm excited to have the Toronto Tempo. The Toronto Tempo.
I think they have a problem with their roster size. I think the roster size needs to be up.
It needs to be expanded. It needs to be expanded.
It's ridiculous. They should have 10. They should have 12 to 13 at least on roster.
Yeah.
Hopefully that changes with the pay that's going to come up. They didn't do themselves. I don't know who's in charge of marketing at WNBA, but the league and the players did not do themselves a favor with the All-Star game.
Terrible marketing, terrible media, terrible refereeing, the attitude of the players.
Again, they pumped it up. It was more, the weekend part was better. Like they're making it a party like the NBA. It's a whole weekend thing. It's a fun time, all that. 3-point contest was really good. Sabrina winning it with like 30. Like she just went crazy in the final. But then
I think it's the record scoring amount for the finals game in WNBA history, I believe.
Yeah. So they changed the game to make, again, we'll just say Caitlin Clark effect, obviously, because all of a sudden there's a 4-point thought on the two sides of the court, deep outside, right? So Nafisi Collier from Minnesota sets a scoring record for the All-Star game.
Which you get like 38 or something?
Yeah, it's 36, I think. But still, four of those shots came from the 4-point thought.
Well, that's why they put it there, because the fans love it. I love the 4-point shot or whatever.
You know what I love about basketball? Oh, you know what I really like about basketball?
Is there anything you still like about basketball anymore?
I like basketball. I don't need the gimmicks. Just play basketball. I love basketball. Just play basketball.
Easier said than done, eh? With all the powers that own and play.
And then this game turned out to be basically like the NBA game. Nobody played any defense. Somebody got a triple-double. It's like getting a last rebound near the end in a blowout. And it just...
I couldn't watch it without...
I actually stopped watching it. I stopped watching it.
I watched it for about 3 minutes, and then they kept on talking about who's missing from the game, and it was boring, and it was, the girl was scoring, and I didn't know much about her, and she can play. I like her a lot.
Of course. So then the big story about it was them coming out and warm up in shirts that say, "Pay us what you owe us."
I mean, that's terrible.
Never made any money.
That's terrible.
Okay. No, but there is some stuff that I agree with them on. Some of the money now that the league is expanding, because if you think about it, I mean, Vegas in 2021, Vegas sold for $2 million, and now they're supposedly worth almost $300 million.
Yeah.
Right. So people are making money, and it's not the players. There should be some profit sharing there, like it has in the NBA.
Well,
like for example, the apparel and all that kind of stuff. In the men's games, the split is around 50-50 for the players and the ownership, within a few points. The WNBA gets 9.3% of the players of revenue, and when you factor that in with the growth of the league, the new television contracts, 9.3% isn't a fair share for what they're bringing to it.
No, it isn't.
So I agree with that. You should be getting more of that money. But to say to people and try to tell people we should be making, again, first of all, we've talked about this. Athletes in general are overpaid, but NBA guys are totally overpaid. It is ridiculous.
It's beyond any sort of rational thought.
When Fred VanVleet's getting $50 million a season, something is wrong.
Well, it's 25 million a season.
I love Freddie, but no offense to Freddie. But when guys
25 million,
even when SGA is getting 70, 60, whatever it is,
it's insane.
It's stupid.
It's insane.
And then, so they wear these shirts, and then Kelsey Plum kind of takes a shot in a press conference saying, "Well, the shirts weren't really talked about. Well, we meant to talk about the shirts. And the Clark's team wasn't there." So it was like taking a little dig at her. But you know what? When you guys were wearing those "Pay us what you owe us," instead of Caitlin Clark, instead of showing unity like she does every time with the players, even though they can't stand her, they're so envious of her. She should have worn a t-shirt that said thank you on it, or sorry, that said you're welcome on it, because that's the only reason we're having this conversation. So go look at the All-Star game in 2023, 850K. That's how many people watched it.
Yeah.
In 2024, and that was the high, 80K. That was the high since 2015. So, and in 2024, when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and others were rookies playing against the Olympic team, viewership was 3.4 million. Wow, from 840 to 3.4. I wonder what changed. Do you know what changed in the league? Oh, I don't know what it was. And then what happened this year? Well, that person that we're talking about was injured, couldn't play, and viewership was down to 2.3 million in her home building too. Right? So there's this money that's there for you, and it is just, again, I think they just shoot themselves in their own foot. It drives me nuts to watch. It's like watching, what's the proverbial thing you'll see and someone say it's like watching a car crash or a train wreck.
Yeah.
That's what this is like watching.
Or a train hit a car.
More money. because the teams are going up in money, in profit. It cost, I think Golden State paid, I can't remember what it was, but they're valued at so much more than what they paid to get into the league at.
You know, I've heard it for so long, and I hear it in real estate too, as being a homeowner and an investor and a landlord. I've heard tenants, and then we actually had tenants try to take advantage of what they thought we were taking advantage of them by charging a rent and paying off our mortgage and our bills and property taxes and looking after the property and sustaining the integrity of the investment and blah blah blah, and dealing with shitty tenants. Is you got to put money into it, and the more they fight, the earlier they fight, the better. They have the advantage because they're following the NBA and the old ABA and a lot of the European team structures. I mean, they're talking about, just on a side note, offering V before Big Vacilonis before he signed with as a backup. By the way, what a brilliant pickup! I mean, talk about the best possible place. He's gonna play great, and they're gonna play great together. They're just but that's a different episode that we'll do at some point sooner than later. But getting back to what I was saying, I just go with what you're saying, because you're on a really, really nice vibe when it comes to the WNBA. You've been following it for a long time, and I see a lot of the negative stuff, but I don't see a lot of the positive stuff. And then when I hear you talk about it, I can see why I see a lot of the negative stuff, because they need a lot of work. That league needs to grow up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So the players, they just need to be paid more, and then the league will grow up in a better place faster.
I think there's money for them to be making more. I totally agree with them.
Especially some more than others.
And especially with the way the growth is happening right now, and it's because of certain players. But now, this is what people don't understand. The people that don't like Caitlin Clark, that don't like, aren't fans, because her fan base is like so overbearing, saying she's the GOAT, all that. Don't worry about that noise. Just worry about what that person has brought to the league. The real basketball fan, like myself, I love Caitlin Clark. That's my new Michael Jordan for me. But at the same time, I'm not telling you she's the best woman player of all time. I'm just a fan, and she's bringing me, and I'm helping bring other people to the game because of her. And guess what happens when those other people come to watch that game? All of a sudden they go, I heard Asia Wilson's name before. I hadn't really seen her play. Gee, she's really good. Or I see Brianna Stewart, or I see Sabrina Ionescu, or I see, all these other players that are in the league that are really, really
just
good.
Another side note, Ionescu winning the 3-point, right, I have to say, was one of the better parts of that All-Star celebration.
They just
she got 30 points.
Not understanding the eyes that are on the game because of her.
Well, this is why I interjected and said that. And Trent and I, we're both Hoopjunkies. And he just brought up and said something that no one would ever say. And Trent is the most adamant Michael Jordan fan I've ever met in my life. The guy loves him. If he wasn't already married, he'd marry Michael Jordan. He'd probably turn into Michael Jordan. What's that?
Well, he's the greatest of all time. That's what it is.
That's debatable, but a lot of people would feel the same way.
That's what it is.
But to say that this Caitlin Clark is the new Michael Jordan, a lot of people, that's why a lot of people probably don't like her. But I think the majority of people don't like her because of the color of her skin. And
that too.
And her fan base is
agree.
color of their skins. I think there's a lot of racial issues in this world, specifically in the Northern Hemisphere. Specifically, it seems in America, as a priority. And it's out of control. And I think it does more harm than good. And it's ridiculous that people are playing the race card and watching what goes on. And anyways, I'm very curious to hear more about the WNBA, because the more I learn from Trent, the more I watch the WNBA, I see a lot of the things that Trent's talking about.
There's some really good players, man. There's some really good basketball. Some really good players.
Yeah.
There's more coming. This league's going to get better, which is great.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm afraid maybe they're expanding a little too quick to add 5 teams in 3 years. Hey, there's some talent coming, but let's not.
Is that because of Caitlin Clark, though? Right? It is. It's got to be.
It is. I mean, it's just the effect that
that's what a lot of people don't understand or believe, and they're completely delusional. It's all because of Caitlin Clark. That's why a lot of people hate her. There's a lot of haters out there, but she's changed the entire league, the world of basketball.
There's no question. She
absolutely.
Again, once you start watching games, I already knew some of these other players. But lots of people that are new to it because they came to watch Caitlin Clark. Yeah, some of them are over the top, but at the same time, all of a sudden, some of those people that are real
I don't mind that.
Fans, no, but some people who are real basketball fans go, "Oh, holy geez, Collier from Minnesota, what a player! Wow, exactly. I mean, all of a sudden, no, I already know who those people were. I understand that lots of people don't, because this league hasn't. This league is just I've said this right from the start when we talked about WNBA. But the people that have come in the last 3 years before Clark, but with her coming in and bringing what she's brought, this is like the golden age of women's basketball right now. We're upon it.
We're at the beginning stages of it. We're in the beginning stages of it.
Right? And what are they doing? They are, and excuse my language, they are fucking it up so bad. It's like
you're talking about
the train.
So who's they? Who is they? The owners of each individual franchise?
The commissioner, the marketing team, the people in charge.
So it's a league that,
so bad. Like, they have messed this up so bad.
So obviously that can't be acceptable for far too long in a growing, when you're starting a franchise in its infancy. So you think there's going to be big trades? It's going to change fast. The league's going to have to adapt and change quickly.
Next year is going to be huge, because next year I believe they're going to be negotiating. When I got to listen to players like Angel Reese and DeJounte Carrington from Dallas talk about on her podcast saying, "Oh, well, they're not going to, we'll sit out." Okay, please stop. Okay,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. You don't have the right to sit out. I'm with you. I want you to make more money. I think you should be making more money. You guys are on a primetime game on Saturday night at 6 p.m. in the summer. That's my other issue with the league, and I'll get into.
Yeah.
But don't tell me you're going to sit out. The CBA is going to get negotiated after this year. They're obviously going to get more money. I hope they don't try to go nuts, but they definitely should be getting more of the revenue sharing when it comes to jersey sales and all that, just like the NBA players do.
And television rights.
All that. Exactly. The revenue generated, you should be getting way bigger percentage of it. I totally agree with that, which means salaries go up, which is perfect.
Well, which means if you want to expand the rosters, you got to have bigger salaries. You got to put more money into the players and develop them. Yeah. I mean, it's like it's a no-brainer. It's like it's not. Yeah. It's just they want to do it slow so they can rape and pillage and make as many billions out of it before they have to pay more.
And the other thing about it is they're going to be negotiating this CBA. Meanwhile, while they're negotiating this CBA, about 75% of the league players are going to be free agents.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are
I saw that initially, Trent. Right. I couldn't believe that stat. I thought that was fake.
That's going to be huge. Like, how do you know Asia Wilson doesn't decide, I want to play with Caitlin Clark?
Well, I think a lot of people will want to, because everybody wants to make the most money and win the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Always have the most eyes.
And there's a lot of talented sisters in that league. Whether they're
coming, you have
I know, and a vast majority of them like Caitlin Clark and respect Caitlin Clark and understand the dynamics. It's not about the color of the skin. It is to a lot of people, unfortunately. But anyways.
And the other thing that they need to change, I'll finish on this with the WNBA. My biggest gripe with them, especially living in Canada, it'd be different if I lived in Florida or California where you got sun all year round. But living in Northern Canada, I have 5 months a year, at most, where there's no snow on the ground and it's decent outside and warm. Well, guess what I'm not going to do when it's 30 degrees outside on a Sunday afternoon? I'm not sitting inside to watch a basketball game. I've only done that for one person. It was Michael Jordan. And even with Caitlin Clark, I tape those games. Once in a while, I do watch them live, depending on what the day is. But they need to move their season, start, because they have short. I think they need to play more games. I don't think 42 games is enough. I think they need to expand their rosters, and I think they need to play more games. I don't think they need to play 80, but the game should be around 55, 60 for a season. Like 42 games is not enough for a full season.
I think 60 is a good number if you look at it, and it depends on how many teams are. You got to make it in conference play. So but I agree with you 100%. It's it's going to happen sooner than later, guaranteed.
And move the season so it starts like a month after the NBA season starts. Because now I'm already watching basketball, and it's 40 below outside. I'll gladly stay in and watch a bat. I'll watch the Atlanta Dream play the Washington Mystics for God's sakes, and I could care less who wins that game. Right? But
well, this is what's really interesting about Trent's comments, folks, and people that will be watching this show and are the fans of the Canadian Bro Show, and we really appreciate all of the people that have subscribed. Our subscriptions have been going up, and quick interjection on Trent's rant, because he's very passionate about it and we love it, but at the same time we also want to give it an opportunity to the people that have put in the time, and we really appreciate it. Thanks very much. Thanks, Trent.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so you know what? It's really interesting what's going on. We're going to do in the next episode, we'll do a breakdown of the league as it finishes this All-Star weekend. Unless you want to talk about anything in particular that or finish the rant, and anything particular about the WNBA that is still on the top of your chest and needs to be said.
No, man. I'm just, there's lots of things that it's a league, like you said. It's almost, for as long as it's been around, it's in its you know what? It's kind of in its going into adult phase. It's time to grow up. You've been around for 20 years. You know what?
Like it's infancy. I think no one.
Grow up.
I mean, kids really grow up between 2 and 4, right? And it's kind of like this league, but this league's been around for a while, and it's taken so long, and it's taken just one person to change the entire league, and a lot of people cannot wrap their heads around that.
No.
And if it was many other players that are in the WNBA right now, and they were that player, they would. So, that's the issue. At the end of the day, she's going to be like Braun and end up owning a WNBA franchise, and perhaps one, maybe the Fever itself at some point.
So the league started in '96. So that makes it 30 years old. So as you said, it's time to grow up. You've had your party years, your college years, sleeping with whoever you wanted to for years. Okay, it's time to grow up. It's time to get married, time to have more kids, time to build a foundation that lasts for a long time. That's where they're at in this league right now. I think that's a perfect analogy to it.
I love it. That is very much so. Very nicely said.
And that's all I can. Get it together, league. Jeez, and fix the officiating. Awful.
Yeah, but there's a lot of awful things. That's where I thought, but at the end of the day, we were saying it's in its infancy of taking off. It's not in its infancy of being a league.
Exactly.
As Trent mentioned, It was 1996. But it's been a bumpy road because female basketball wasn't really prevalent in the Western Hemisphere as much as it was in FIBA, Federation International Basketball Association. Females have been playing professional basketball in Europe under FIBA and the FIBA rules and regulations since the early 1900s.
Europe, Russia, China, and Australia. All the women go play pro there and make money.
Oh, yeah. Right? And it's good leagues. And I've actually, as a professional playing in professional basketball myself, one of my contracts, I didn't know until I got my first month's pay and signed the contract, was to coach the senior female team. When they didn't conveniently tell me, and I didn't mind at all, it was actually one of the best experiences of my life. And we ended up being 4-9, I think. Yeah. And it was a wonderful experience. And it was part of
the other thing too. It's not just basketball, Paul. What's happened in the last, and again, you can be upset and say, Caitlin Clark fanboy, whatever. But I'm just looking at numbers. What she's done isn't just for basketball. Women's sports in general is going crazy right now.
Yeah, it is.
Women's volleyball, women's softball in the States is getting coverage.
Tennis, golf, track and field,
gymnastics, all that stuff. Simone Biles, like those women's sports, it has the coverage of it, and I mean even the access to it for girls now that can play hockey. and all that kind of stuff in Canada. Like women's sports is on an uptick as well.
Serious incline globally, absolutely, 100%. And that's why I think we're one of the few podcasts on YouTube that actually spends a significant amount of time during our, yearly. We try to do an episode once a week, and we always cater to the WNBA, and we're both big fans of Caitlin Clark and what she's done for the league. And of course, I didn't know I've heard about her, but I never really paid attention to her or female basketball for the most part until Caitlin Clark beat Pistol Pete Maravich's scoring record, which I thought nobody would ever do it. Yeah. And people don't understand that he did it without a three-point line. He averaged almost 45 points a game over 3 years, but she came in and beat him. And Trent, I heard about it, but he was one of the first to come out and tell me about it. Because he knew I was a Pistol Pete Maravich fan. I've always been. It's in the back of me right here. Where is it? That way? Right there. The pistol. 44 floppy socks. And for her to come in and do it and beat that is incredible. So that just awoke in me, but it didn't awake me. The WNBA's insurgence is also because men never paid attention to the WNBA before. A large majority, family, friends. Exactly. But now, people like Trent and I, people that have played professional basketball, people that have played college and FIBA, it's a global phenomenon because it is a professional league in FIBA. Women play all over the world. And it's celebrated. And it's about WNBA understand that the world is watching and they need to behave. It's time to grow up.
Imagine if they would have partied with this growing up. Imagine if they would have put her on the Olympic team. Just imagine.
Can you just? Again, I mean, listen. I'm a big believer of dreaming big and imagining bigger, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what? And sometimes you keep doing it until you manifest it and it happens. So I'm a huge fan of that. But in wrapping up, Trent, was there anything else that you want to share today?
That's it for me, man. Go Fever.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, totally. And hopefully Caton can lift some weights, get some hamstrings, work on those legs, work on the core, because work on the butt, the glute, because that leg injury could be with her for a long time.
I think that's part of the problem. She was hitting the weights this summer. I think that's part of it.
Oh, really? And that's why it's the first time she's injured really much?
Wow. Yeah, she has never been injured in high school or college ever. I've never missed any games.
Anyways, we wish her nothing but the best, and anyone, of course, that's injured, we wish the best. In the meantime, be kind out there. And closing, my name is Paul Bale. I'm the founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show, and my partner in crime is the co-host of the most, Mr. Trent Rowley. We really thank you for joining us again. This episode's going to be uploaded, if not today, tomorrow at some point. So thank you for joining us. Episode 29, and all things basketball with Pauly and Rowley. And we have a new logo, we have a new backdrop, and we have a new opening song and closing song at this point. Thanks for watching, everyone. Trent, fasten your seatbelt. Yeehaw! It's actually Britpop. It's not. I do have an Alberta one, but anyways, let me know if you like it. In the heart of the truth, lost, we rise with Pauly and Rowley.
No, that's for sure. It's like Trump.
The Canadian Bro Show together.
Is the parade going to stop soon?
Only in your mind. I personally, I gave that a 7.8 out of 10. Thank you, Chris Wright. Hopefully you're going to be on a future episode. And thanks again, Trent. Trent is usually positive, but sometimes when he dislikes something, it usually means that he really likes it. You just got to listen to it a few times. Yes. In the meantime, everybody, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next episode 30. On behalf of the Canadian Bro Show with Pauly, Johnny, and Rowley. We'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.
Later.